Subscribe to get Curried and click on the bell icon for more updates.
Pasta is already one of the easiest and quickest one-pot dishes that you can make. But today I'm going to show you how to make this even faster in a pressure cooker. I'm Tarika, so let's get started with this recipe. Now I've not heated the pressure cooker pan at all. I'm just going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil to the cold pan completely. And to this, I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic that have just been sliced up. This is very important. Turn on the heat. Keep it on a low to medium sort of heat. Here in this mixer, I've got half a cup of tomato puree already. Measurements are important in this recipe, so keep that in mind. And now to this, I'm going to add about a quarter cup of walnuts. I'm going for a slight pesto-ish flavor for this sauce, so I'm going to also add a quarter cup of basil leaves that I'm just going to tear up and again add to this. Just give that a quick whiz in the mixer. That smells really good and wonderful. I'm just going to push that down and just set this aside for right now because I have a little bit more cooking to do in the pan. So at this point, I'm going to add a teaspoon of some chili flakes. Stir that in. Now to this really nicely infused oil, I'm going to add 200 grams of chicken and garlic sausages, which I've just sliced up. Feel free to use any sausage that you like. Just add that here. Now the sausages are getting really nicely fried up. So I'm also going to add some bell peppers, red and yellow, just for some awesome color. You can use green as well. Just fry those up as well. I'm just looking to give it some nice crispness. Just cook these two together for a couple of minutes. Now to this, I'm going to add the sauce that we had blended earlier. This is going to move very quickly now because I'm going to add a teaspoon of paprika powder and some oregano. Again, a teaspoon. Stir these two around. 2 cups of water. A teaspoon of salt. Don't add too much at this stage because I'm also going to add Parmesan cheese later. Stir it in. I'm also going to season this with some freshly crushed pepper. And now is the exciting part because I'm going to add the pasta. I'm using spaghetti that I've just broken into half. It's 220 grams of spaghetti. You can use linguine, any shape of pasta that you like here. It's just going to turn out equally yummy. And just make sure that the pasta is completely submerged in the water and the sauce in the pressure cooker because that will ensure that it cooks really well. Bring this to a slight simmer. Now this has come to a slight simmer. Remember, I want it to simmer and not boil. So I'm just going to cover this with the lid and cook it on a high flame for 2 whistles or 1000 watts if you're using an induction like me. I've let the steam release completely naturally from the pressure cooker. Oh wow! It looks and smells so delicious. The pasta has cooked perfectly. And it's giving me a natural sauna as well. And there's a little bit of the sauce remnant here, but the pasta will continue to absorb it as it rests here, which is the perfect time for me to add a few more flavorings to it. I've added only a teaspoon of salt, but that's because I wanted to add some natural saltiness from Parmesan cheese. So I'm just going to grate that in, and this will just become a part of the sauce and get completely absorbed at this stage. I'm also going to add just about a handful of fresh parsley leaves, which I will just chop up slightly finely. Just sprinkle in the parsley and just a tad bit more pepper, because that never harmed anyone. The pasta, you will see, is perfectly al dente and it's got just the right amount of veggies. I like a combination of chicken and veggies. So I'm ready to serve this up. This is a very generous serving for 2 people. And grate just a little bit more Parmesan before you tuck into it. This is an unusual way of making pasta, but really does it matter that you've made it in a pressure cooker when it tastes so delicious? Try this recipe, leave a comment below, and of course, subscribe to get curried.